Afternoon. We've had a very successful, very constructive week. Wanted to give you guys some updates on a couple positions. So that data center position that I was talking about, that was let me go out this way. That was an interesting position because I found out that was, they wanted some cool little tech support and whatnot. And to be honest, I don't know how much it pays. Maybe I should give them a call and just ask them. Cause I know it's going to be on site, but maybe I should take a look at that. If they could give me, I don't think they're going to give me what I want, but maybe I should take a look at it. At least do a little reconnaissance. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to call them and kind of see, what they're willing to give up. Maybe I should kind of see what they're willing to give up. So, some AC up in here. Another position I saw, and I want to talk about this, and I'm probably going to do a reaction for it as well. I think I will do like a mini reaction, and I might just add it to this little piece here. I might just do it in my phone. I'm dead set on doing that, right in the car real quick. But with this particular situation, remember in my second book, I was kind of showing y'all on how to look at what I call shadow positions, or what I call stealth. I think I could use the word stealth positions. What they'll do is they'll call it one thing. See, when they call it desktop support, there's a ceiling for that. Unless you're dealing with a real high level executive VIP position, or a VIP executive support position where you're just supporting high level executives and things of that nature. A lot of 90% of the work you do, 90 to 98% of the work you do is going to be white glove. They call it white glove VIP support. You're just dealing with the big wigs, and they expecting stuff to get done yesterday, and they're making the company a lot of money. So they're very, very demanding. They're extremely demanding. They need their stuff done real fast. So now, that's the ceiling of desktop support. Unless you're working in like the military, it's generally going to be in a lot of financial. Maybe cybersecurity, you might be able, but 9 times out of 10, you're not going to make $100,000 doing desktop support. You're just not. From time to time you can, but you're just generally not, because they could kind of replace that with anybody. Anybody could almost do it. So, it's more advanced than help desk. But this particular position was mentioning familiarity with DevOps. They start talking about patch management and all. I said, and it's for a company called HCL. They're another TCS. A lot of the Indians are running it. And I want to do a story on some information that I found out. I was talking to a sister at work, and she was breaking some stuff down on TCS. So that's going to be on my series, You Destroyed Your Company, Don't Destroy Mine. That's going to be the next one. All right. So here's what I want to say about this position. I believe it's a stealth position. The way they worded it and the technology they're using, and it said desktop support. 3 of the recruiters reached out to me and said it was $20 an hour. Then another one reached out and said 23. I said, man, let me see if I could get Brother Abdi in there for $30 an hour, $10.99. Because I said, this looks like system administration kind of. A system administrator is just a beefed up desktop person. You're just administrating the system. You're not necessarily building stuff. You're just making sure things are running. So now, what I don't understand is that, why are they paying $23 an hour for a stealth position, for a sysadmin position? Why are they only paying that much? Well, this goes to show what we were talking about before, about the H-1B visas and all that. Those companies are usually Indian-based companies. And what they want to do is they want to pay somebody crumbs. They're used to paying H-1B visa people crumbs as well for the little bit of nothing. So they having you do all this stuff for nothing. And so they want to get somebody American up in there, and they trying to not pay them anything. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get away with doing that. And that's the kind of position, a lot of times that position I'm looking at is what I call a throwaway. You get in there until you find something better for that rate. Because you're not gonna be able to survive off 23. Now, if you're fresh in the game, that's, even then, that I'm seeing internships where I work, they paying off the rip 25, and those ain't permanent. But, man, $23 an hour, that's pretty bad, man. That's pretty bad. But you know what? See if you get a 1099 and get you an LLC. See if you get you a 1099 and get you an LLC. My neighbors are moving. I kind of like how they move, and not physically move, but I kind of like how they're handling it. Damn, it's a lot of box elder bugs. I like how they're handling it, because it don't even look like they're moving. I don't know if they're doing it at night. It wasn't that I was trying to be extra nosy, but I noticed things, and it don't even look like they're moving. You can't even tell they're moving anything major. That's how you're supposed to move out here, where you just got that big compartment thing, and people think, well, it looks like they're moving. Are they moving? The fact that I gotta ask, are they moving? They moving right, because when people know you're moving, there's a bunch of questions, or, well, on our block, you're right next door to people, so people can ask those little goofy questions or whatever. But they're not right next door to a bunch of other people, which is good. So now you get to take advantage of minding your own damn business. But what's interesting, those little pods, those moving pods and stuff, when you move, I remember at one point when I used to move, I would move at night. I would move at night. And I didn't have a lot to move. Whatever I had the most important things, I had them in small boxes. And I didn't even have 10 boxes. Because for furniture and stuff, sometimes I get trashy. That's what I would do. But then when I bought a house, you probably don't move everything in 10 boxes. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a breakdown of what I'm talking about. All right. So right here is saying that I could take up to 24 minutes. I don't know. I got to erase a bunch of stuff. Okay. So look, this is the data center position I was talking about. I'm going to try to run through this quick. It said it was full-time and part-time, located in Minneapolis. I still don't know where this place is at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a call. I'm going to see if I can record it and get some information about it. And then I'll post that for you. And I might even put it in this video. So you're going to perform rack and stack, installation, server, storage hardware, working the data center, proper cabling, labeling, documentation of deployment. I can't see the rest. So we'll just go ahead and play it right here. They want you to be detail-oriented, reliable, ready to travel. So you might be moving. I forgot to tell you guys about that. You're going to be moving to other areas, different places, which was pretty good. All right. So let's see what else they're going to have. Overnight, long distance. All right. So here goes again. Overnight stays, long distance traveling. So they're probably going to put you in a plane. Experience with server and storage hardware preferred. Ability to lift heavy equipment, willingness to travel extensively. So you're probably going to be a road warrior. You might be traveling 40 to 50%. This is good for a young guy. You need to get out there, see the world. Eligible to work in the U.S. This is for the data center position I'm talking about. I'm doing an analysis on this. All right, now let's go to the fake-ass desktop support position. They're saying this is desk side support specialist. So you're managing AHL applications infrastructure across Windows and Linux, troubleshoot IS hosted net-based apps, configure, file transfer, submit, and track infrastructure requests, including DNS, network, firewall. So basically, all you're going to be doing is tracking requests. Snow, you're going to be dealing with ServiceNow. Collaborate with development, QA, and infrastructure teams. This could be with Veritas. It's in Roseville. I try to get in there doing desktop for a million different times because, you know, if you do the TSCs over there, it's trash. But it could be with Veritas, but it's under HCL. So it's much like TCS. You have TCS, the client, you have the client, you have TCS, and then you have your recruiting agency. This is a recruiting agency that's trying to, so it's 3 different people. The recruiting agency will cut your check. So they want you to be familiar with AD, group policy, Windows Server Administration, PowerShell, automation tools, understanding DevOps practices, Splunk, aerodynamics, monitoring tools. Man, this is a sysadmin position. AS400. That sounds like a bank. Okay, so that's it, y'all. That's my analysis. I do believe that this is a desktop support position in stealth mode. I think it's a sysadmin position, but I'm going to call and see if I can find